What is happening, people? Welcome to McLaren Fan TV, people. You know what time it is. You know what it is. It's time to talk about testing. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, Mahad. What are you saying, my G? What's going on, man? Testing done.
Testing done. Don't panic, guys. Relax. Not everything needs a reaction. Just chill out. It's testing. Testing don't matter like that. Especially testing times. Let's be serious, guys.
Give me the feels. Like, what's the temperature check with you at the minute in terms of like what you've seen day 1, 2, and 3, week out before we go to Bahrain, or stay in Bahrain rather, and you know, quali would be today, this time next week, and the race, in case people forgot, is Saturday next weekend. Like what's the temperature like? What are you saying? What's your pulse?
I'm very calm. I'm very just chilled out at the moment. Kind of looking at others in the grid, seeing Red Bull just pushing the boat out even more, and I'm just like, obviously that wasn't expected. I thought they would probably go down the same avenue and just push it a little bit further, but they've just basically just said we're going to push the boat out and just step on everyone's neck. So watching that and testing is kind of like, okay, let's just forget about Red Bull here. Are we in the pack of Ferrari, Mercedes? Are we in that ballpark? And it feels like we are. From what it looks like, the car, from what my eye test is looking at, because I watched it extensively on day 1 and day 2, it just looks like it's got better drive out the corners. It's got grip. It's just the kind of thing where we were not good at in terms of coming out of corners. We just used to get slow on the throttle. Used to, just because they were so focused on trying to find the balance of the car and not bin it. We couldn't actually manage on getting the throttle down, getting the grip on the tires, and not getting wheel spin, and managed to get out of the corner as well. So it looks like it's less of a handful of a car. To me, I can't really. I've watched testing for a long time since it started being televised. I've been here, done that in terms of this testing thing. I am not taking anything with this times. I do not care. I do not get this. Well, and then it's like trying to go to a restaurant, and read basically figure out what everybody's eating on their plate when it's already been eaten. That's what it's like trying to analyze. There's no menu about. You just got to guess from the scraps on the plate what this person's eating. And that's what time is, because you don't know what their run plan is. You don't know anything about what they've set out their week to be in testing. And at the end of the day, it's a test. So the one issue for me is maybe reliability, because obviously we're in the garage quite a lot with different issues. But I'd rather it's testing. I'd rather them test those issues out now, right? And it's not the same issue every single day like how it was with the brakes last year and the year before, right? The brakes overheating. It's more to do with what was it? One of them was a fuel pump. Today was the clutch. So it's good to see that things are methodically being done. Obviously, I would have liked Oscar to have more running on day 1 and day 2, and I would have liked Lando to have more running on day 3 and get those laps in. But it looks like they're in a comfortable place. And there was an extensive interview with Andrea Stella. He's basically calm. I'm calm. That's what it should be like, Peter. If Andrea's calm, I'm calm.
Listen, we can't say hashtag in Stella we trust if we're not going to be calm when he's calm. You know the ones there. We can't act like that. Big up to everybody that's currently watching right now. Thank you so much for all of you lot joining us live and direct. 15 of you, I think, are in the chat right now. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's get this McLaren fan channel booming. 2024, if there's a championship we got to win this year, it's the podcast championships. You know them ones. The podcast constructors, bro. We've got to get every McLaren fan that exists. We got to get them here on this platform and make sure that we are all in one community, one network together. Because I don't know about you, Mahad. I feel like this year, man, we're going to build some sort of network. We're going to build a community that's going to be quite fierce. I mean, McLaren is in general, right? Like when you look at fans like no other, like there's millions of them. I have a feeling though, we're going to have a little pocket as well, you know? We're going to have a little pocket of that in our sphere this year. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling it this year. I'm feeling it in the air this year. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, we're building something. You guys are grassroots. All you guys here in the chat right now, you're grassroots. We're building something. And as we grow, the community grows, we'll be building something over time. So just enjoy this journey with us. And this season starts with testing. And we'll see where we're at next week. How are you feeling about the car? How are you feeling about the whole situation? I know you've managed to lock into testing a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be every day at work. You know what I'm saying? The work's going to find out what my internet history has been all week. Yeah, I've had the testing on. You know what I mean? It's been on. I can't believe I've done it all every day. I've had it on, and obviously I might drift in and out because of there could be a meeting. I still have a little cheeky volume on it. I still have it there, but for me, I guess it all depends on what do people think. What do people care about when it comes to testing? For me, I need mileage. I need laps. That's all I care about, because the most important thing is like the way you got to look at testing is not even necessarily what's good about the car, what's wrong about the car. What is it that we've built together that we think, okay, cool, this looks good on paper, CAD drawings, wind tunnels, everything else. Now it's on the track. Tell me what's wrong with it. That's what testing to me should be, right? And so it's all about getting laps. It's all about getting that mileage. And so I get concerned when the situation, as you just mentioned, when Oscar's not having enough laps one day, Lando's not having enough laps one day. That to me is more so the concern. It's a case of give me the data. I don't care if the car, if the car is the slowest on the grid, let me know. Let me know. That's what they, and then we leave McLaren and the people that be, the powers that be, to go and deal with that situation. So for me, what I've seen so far, number one, at least we've got where everybody seems happy. The mood is happier than last year. That was my first tick box, right? The vibe is not the same as last year. Cool. That's good. The second thing is, Oscar, I'm looking at Oscar specifically more so because I know Lando knows what to do. He's got it tucked in. He's been here before. He's been there, done that. And this is the first time he's probably done it in a good car, really. Oscar, however, he's had that year where it wasn't a great preseason for him last year because the car was not up to standard. And now it's his time to sort of, right, I've got a year under the belt. Yeah, I've driven Formula One cars before, but I've got a year solid under the belt. I'm now heading into a brand new season. I've got the preseason done. I'm in the testing. What other things do I need to learn? What other things can I eke out of this? And it's a case of do not watch nobody else. Don't really watch face. Because at the end of the day, look, here's the thing. You look at somebody else, you look at a Red Bull, what they've built, right? Or you look at a Ferrari, you think, what's going on over there? The truth is, even if you know what's going on over there, you can't do nothing about it now. We're at preseason testing. Bahrain is next week. You ain't going to do nothing about it. So run your own race. And I like what Zach said. Zach said, was it today or yesterday? The days get mixed up with me, but I think it was today where he said, the car looks good. That's a good start for me. It's a car capable. He reckons we think we've got a car that's potential to win races, potential, and we want to achieve to get to the top step of the podium. That's the goal this year. So he's talking good. He's talking in a good way. And the first day of testing, I think I noticed that Zach didn't show an emotion. Didn't really show any excitement as such. It seemed like he was just there, and it made me think. Do you know what? He's somebody who I feel like he wears his emotions on his face. Like when we know the car ain't doing, Stella for me is too stealth. I don't know what he's thinking until he talks. Then when he talks, I'm like, okay, this is where he is. Zach, however, I always feel like I get a little crumb out of him. I don't know if that's
heart on his sleeve
type of guy.
When we do something good, we know.
When
stuff's not going well, you can tell it on his face. It's not going good.
So,
and you can tell, last year, the pressure was on at the beginning. He was fuming.
You know what I
mean? You couldn't really hide it at the end of the day. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. In terms of look at the body language, see what's going on with everybody that's there, hear the words, actually listen to what people are saying.
Yes.
When they're having these interviews, when Stella's speaking, when Zach's speaking. And you really have to kind of understand the context of the situation. We need to focus on ourselves as McLaren and see, okay, how are we doing? I see testing in a different light. Is the correlation of what was going on in the wind tunnel and everything that has been going on in the factory happening on the track? And by all counts, Stella is saying yes. So therefore, everything that we've done over the winter, that works. Why are we watching what other people are? Why are you watching what Ferrari doing? Why are you watching what Mercedes is doing? They're doing their own run plan. Don't pay attention to any of that. You should only be looking at that kind of stuff when it's Q3.
That's it, exactly.
When it's the race. That's the only time you should be looking about what's going on with other people.
Yeah.
Right now, just focus on what's happening. And you're right about the lap times. Yes, it could have been better. But did they go through the run plans? Yes, they did. The only thing that probably did not happen was Lando didn't have a race run. Oscar had his race run today. Obviously, we know about Lando in the race. We know about Lando's race pace. So is the race pace data representative? Oscar did a really good job. Oscar will improve. But is it a representative of what that car is right now? Because Lando didn't do a race pace. We don't even have a comparison.
Yeah.
So that is a big miss there. But it's all about finding out, is everything correlated? Is our wind tunnel saying exactly what's happening on track, vice versa? And secondly, when issues do crop up, are you finding those issues and dealing with those issues immediately, right? Instead of just ignoring it, saying, oh, we need to get the laps in. They're making concerted efforts to say, okay, look, there's an issue with a clutch. Let's just bring it in and sort this out right now, rather than just carrying on and breaking down on track. We don't really want to be doing that. And thirdly, you can still, right now, you can still see that now the cars on track, you can still see what limitations there are, and then you can feed that back, and then that can come in future upgrades. There's already upgrades in the pipeline already.
In place, yeah.
Prior to even the car being on track.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say this is the be all and end all. This is just what we've got right now. There could be an upgrade before the race next week. Who knows?
I think there is.
We are not privy to this information.
No, do you know what? I think there is. Because if I remember correctly, I don't know who spoke. I think it was Ted's notebook. He mentioned that, McLaren didn't even bring everything that they were meant to bring, because he was saying that how, McLaren's car doesn't look spectacular. There's nothing really going on. Like, Mercedes, we can talk about this, and Red Bull, we can talk about this. And he was like, the McLaren, it was like, there isn't anything to really talk about. It's almost like resume from last year, business as usual. Let's see. And apparently they're going to bring more stuff ahead of the race next weekend. So what, bear that in mind. Like, whatever they're going to bring, clearly they don't think will affect whatever happened in testing, and you don't want to show all your cards straight off the bat. So, where you got people talking about other teams, it's like, okay, yeah, let them talk, let them crack on, let them go ahead with that. For me, I all I care about is laps on the grid. If there's laps, then I know what I'm dealing with. Me speaking on behalf of McLaren, like, I know what I'm dealing with if I got laps on the grid. So, when I see low laps, that's the only concern for me, because you're not running. So why are you not running? You know the ones. That's the only thing I'll say.
When people talk at times, it's bad because you're not taking in fuel into account.
Looking at times,
run plans. What we're doing here? I'm seeing people. I know I only just got home like an hour ago, and then I've gone on the timeline to set up the stream and stuff, and I'm seeing all these data. What is the data analytic community doing with testing numbers?
God knows.
Why are you even analyzing this?
Don't analyze, guys.
And why are we even? You shouldn't be reading this. I feel like there's an air of pessimism. Let's analyze our fan base.
Okay.
Because everybody reacts different, right? And we're gonna get through your comments, and I'm gonna go through all the Twitter comments that we've had as well.
100%.
And we're gonna hear what you lot have to say as McLaren fans as well. Because I understand there's gonna be a sense of trauma being a McLaren fan, seeing testing and not everything being perfect, right? Because the last 2 years have been horrific. Yeah, 2021, there was glory runs going on. I'll be totally honest, there was glory runs happening.
Glory runs.
We were still finishing a million seconds behind Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. But in reality, there is a trauma there, because I feel like there's a general sense of pessimism within the fan base. There are positive people out there, but I say there's more pessimism towards McLaren's capabilities, and I feel like the actions of last year didn't really remedy that.
Yeah,
in terms of the turnaround, that more needs to happen. I'll tell you right now, and I'll be totally honest with you, that Red Bull, like trying to beat Red Bull this year, was never on the cards anyway.
Exactly.
So if that was your expectations, is completely, you're having a laugh.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen, because you've seen what Red Bull done. They've even pushed out the boat even more. So what we need to do is just focus on how can we be competitive? How do we stay within the pack and try to beat the pack in terms of Mercedes, Ferrari, and so on. And that's the mind. That's where we need to focus on.
Exactly.
Don't look at Red Bull. Yeah, that's not the target. The plan from bloody 2021 has always been try to win races in 2023,
Exactly.
2024, try to go for a championship in 2025. We're behind right now. They've got an advantage. Everybody's aware of that. Nobody is beating Red Bull. So if that was the expectation, that we come out with some absolutely amazing machine that could beat Red Bull, that's not the case,
worldy.
right? That's not going to happen. But what we needed to be was competitive. It looks competitive. Let's see what happens next week. But what we can't do is just feed into any type of pessimism that's out there regarding McLaren, because what you're doing is just doubling down on the pessimism that you had previously, and just it doesn't benefit you as a McLaren fan to be pessimistic about the situation. Just see what happens and just be open, trust what people are saying, and because in the last 6 to 8 months, where have we been misled? I haven't been misled.
I ain't seen
the car was rubbish. I swear to you, Andrea will say the car was rubbish.
Yeah, he would tell us.
I promise you, he would say the car was rubbish.
He would tell us. He would, and people know.
He's already said it. Like, he had an extent. A lot of people have been looking through. It's so weird because I see what people are attracted to in terms of information. People would rather look at some random data spreadsheet or some random comment by an F1 commentator, but they wouldn't read Andrea Stella interview that is bloody long as hell that happened earlier today, I think, or later, which he's going through every single aspect of what's happening. Why? No retweets. Nobody's reading it. Nobody's reading it.
It's almost like
Andrea Stella said, I think some of the weaknesses have been improved. For instance, we are, and I would say, happier with the grip of the rear axle, which is one of the aspects we wanted to work on. Look, he's talking about specific things. He said in all aspects, he's talking in detail, he said aerodynamically, he said mechanically, we have significantly improved from last year, right? Yeah. And these are the limitations on what the driver could do, especially mechanically. And that was a lot of the limitations that we had last season as a team, that the car was on a knife edge, and Oscar and Lando were like basically skating on ice in terms of driving. If the drivability is better, they can get more out of the car and more out of the package. We have not seen this car driven in anger yet to come to any sort of conclusions.
We haven't. That's what I love. The fact that we've just like we've not given it, like we're not giving too much away, and as you said, the people that are looking at times, it's bizarre to me. This is not the time to look at times. Okay, this is the time to concentrate on what are our people saying. What is our staff? What is our team saying? What's the body language? How do they feel? That's what's important. And you know what? Like, no point trying to guess. Oh, this is what this means. No, there's no point trying to guess. You're just gonna say, you're just gonna look at what we have, and then we're gonna see in Bahrain what happens next week. Simple as that.
McLaren are on their own specific journey in terms of their development. They've picked their development path. They've already got upgrades. That means they've already seen a path of where there's so much. It's not limited. Yeah. Andrea Stella said, look, we've still got a lot to get out of this package, and we're going to do it properly. And the emphasis that he keeps on saying is that we're going to do things slowly and properly. Right? When he says, Peter, when he says the gradient of upgrades will be similar to Singapore and Austria, what does that tell you?
Big.
Exactly. So when an upgrade does come, it's going to shift the car forward. Exactly. So I think people need to take into account what these people are saying and why everybody's so calm. Right? Why was everybody so calm before Silverstone? I think people was calm before Silverstone and Austria because they knew what was happening. Obviously, there was an unknown, because if it didn't work, there were big shiz, right? But people were very, very calm before Singapore. The team was very, very calm before the Singapore upgrade. So I need people just to be relaxed, see what happens. An upgrade could happen before Bahrain. It could happen before Saudi. It could happen before Australia. Just see what happens. I just want to see this car on track. I want to see if we've managed to iron certain things out like last year. Because last year, we could not overtake a car. No matter what the upgrades was, it was so difficult to overtake a car.
We struggled.
So it's really about, let's see this on track. Let's see this in action. And let's see this car driven in anger. So before we come to any sort of conclusions, testing is testing.
Exactly.
And I know it's natural to stack yourself up against the opposition, but you're stacking yourself up against Ferrari, a team that's known for glory runs. They've not seen a sandbag in years over there. They don't do sandbags at all.
No, they don't.
So and Mercedes, people are putting them like lower than Aston Martin, and we don't know what Mercedes are doing. Let's not disrespect Mercedes here. So let's just wait and see what happens. Peter. That's what
imagine.
I think. And I say, and I've been posting it. Just not everything deserves a reaction. Just relax.
Exactly this. Spot on, guys. We have to if we have to give you an education, it's purely this. Relax. Just relax. Don't fall for it. Don't fall. And I know McLaren's fan base hasn't always had the best reputation, but we got to slow down, take it easy. We haven't raced yet, and I think we'll be pleasantly surprised next week. We will be pleasantly surprised next week. I tell you that much. Shall we get into the comment section?
Yeah.
Let people talk their talk. Yeah. Smash a like on the video, of course, as well. 25, 26 y'all in the building. We like to see comments. We want to read your comments out. This is your community. This is your channel. McLaren fans with a voice. Yeah. Big up Alex, the Oracle. It ain't McLaren if preseason isn't rough. Would you say it's rough? Was this one rough?
This is bloody,
with everything we've just said.
This is the Savoy. This is Hilton Hotel. Better than last
year. We're in the Savoy.
this is DoubleTree when you get a hot cookie when you go in. That's what it's looking like right now. This is way better than last year.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Natty says there will be a day when McLaren starts F1 testing on the front foot. Shout out to Natty. Hope you're good. Hope you're good and well.
Shout out to Natty.
Drea gets involved in the conversation with Alex there, saying you're sure all right about that, but it wasn't as bad as the last 2 years. Listen, nothing close. What is it? What was Key's role again? James Key's role. Yeah, what was his role again?
Technical director.
Technical director didn't even turn up to the car launch last year. He didn't his car. He didn't even turn up to the launch last year. No, I think people don't understand what that means or what that looks like. Your own stuff. Listen, okay, let me give you context, guys. Christian Horner was at his launch this year. With everything with him at the minute, he was there, and he was there, preseason testing. Key could not even show up to Woking, could not even do it.
I don't think people think about the irreparable damage 2022 and beginning of 2023 done. We're on the back foot, guys. We're not on the front foot. We're on the back. Now, technically, because we've picked a path and we've already developed towards this path, we might be on a development advantage in terms of the others rather than Red Bull.
Yeah.
But we've been at a disadvantage for a while. We haven't even made an upgrade in the wind tunnel yet.
Imagine.
This is going to be the first upgrades coming out of the wind tunnel.
Can't wait. Look at the upgrades we had without this wind tunnel. Anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves there. Hey, man, what's going on? Hope you're good. I says I really said too soon. I really said too soon that we would have a car that doesn't fall apart in these tests. I mean, okay, let's talk about the reliability with this car then. We had a few issues. We've had a few issues over the course of a couple of days. It was clutch one day. It was what was it the other day? Is it pressure?
No.
What was our other fault? We've had two faults since.
I think we had
I'm trying to remember if it was somebody who
we had clutch. We had clutch. We had a fuel pump something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was fuel. Sorry,
I'm just gonna check now. I don't want to give you guys terrible information. Fuel tank. Something wrong with the fuel tank.
Something wrong with the floor. Wasn't there something wrong with the floor?
Fuel tank issue.
Yeah, fuel tank. So we've had a couple of things. Okay.
And we've had the 2 red flags as well. Obviously, everybody else has had that.
Yes. But Amon, this is the time for it to happen. You know,
don't have it happen in the race.
We just don't want this in the race. I can understand if you get twitchy when you see these sort of things. I can understand that totally. But guess what? We got back out on track quickly. Like both times. I feel like we got back out on track not that long. Considering had this been like listen, I know preseason testing is what 8 hours a day or whatever it is, but we were back out there, got the laps in, took the car home and went to bed. You know what I mean? That's a good sign at least. You know, Steph Lowe, what's going on? I hope you're good. The team seems confident, so I'm confident. This is it, though. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Stella speaks. We say we trust him. We've seen some data times. We've seen this, that, and the other, and it's got us. It can get our brain a bit frazzled. McLaren fans need to relax and chill. Have a hot one. You know what I mean? And just take it easy ahead of next week. If that's the thing. If the team is fine, if the body language is there, because you know when someone's trying to save face, and you know when somebody's like keeping their cards close to their chest a little bit. You know, McLaren hasn't been lying to us these last couple of years. When the car is dead, it's dead. They say it's dead. When the car is good and the upgrades are good, they say it's going to be good, and it turns out it will be. So yeah, I'm confident too, and Mahad as well is on the same trajectory here. Amon says, let's not talk about the fake, useless delusion graphic from Motorsport. There's nothing to speak.
I'm not really interested in it. Why?
Not interested at all.
Why am I looking at this data? Let's be serious right now, guys.
Like, it would be nice. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Was it day one when?
I might as well go Team Sport and look at people's data in the car.
Was it day one?
How does this go on?
No, I was going to say, was it day one when Max finished? Was it 8/10 ahead of Norris? And people lost it. It was like, what is it like? Oh my God, it's over. It's done. Title race is done. And it's like, okay, title race, is there really one this year? / this is not the metric to judge this car by.
Do you know what this season's giving me?
Go on.
It's gonna upset you, yeah. When I saw that Red Bull, I said, yeah, this is 2004. Yeah,
undefeated.
And to the people that know what 2004 is, yeah, Michael Schumacher 2004. This is what we're about to witness, man. So, listen, if we get a DNF, if we get a little engine failure, Max Verstappen, we might eat something. But we're only looking at podiums this year.
We saw Checo's power failure. I thought, hello, here we go. Okay, now we're talking. Now this is what I want to see. Even if it means 2 races next year. I mean, this year, like 24 races. Yeah.
Go on.
Like, you just wonder, like, will they do all 24 this year?
Max had no issues last year. So my apart from that one in quali in, what was it, Miami or was it Saudi? I can't remember. But anyways, like, I feel like the only hope for any sort of competitiveness is if Max Verstappen and Checo Perez, they've done this upgrade where they're rapid, but it's unreliable, which is unlikely because they did a ton loads of laps in testing. But we'll see what happens. That's the only way we can actually see what's going on.
Big up to Dennis Horn. Hope you're good. I hope you're well. Mentioning that it was the fuel pump and the clutch regarding our situations this week. Z says hello. I hope you guys are doing
good. To Z.
Go on, Z. What's going on? Hope you're good. Piastri C1 run today looked good. Set the fastest on one of the last laps of the 20+ stint. Yeah. But listen, Piastri,
Who knows? These people are lifted and coasted on certain corners. Nobody knows about these lap times, guys.
You know what I mean? Nat says F1 next week. Word to future. Thought it was a drought. Word to future. Thought it was a drought. Listen, man. I'm interested to see what happens next week because nobody really, I don't think, gave the full beans these past couple of days. Maybe Ferrari showed their hand a little bit. I don't know, but I feel like everyone's going to turn up with something just a little bit different. Just a little bit.
The only driver I didn't think was holding back was Sainz. I think Sainz was just out here. he was doing crazy. He was just out here. He did not care. He's like, I'm pushing this guy.
By the way, random one. Did Zach Brown lose weight? Is it just me?
I don't know. I haven't actually.
Bro, I see him talking to. It's gonna bug me now. Who was he talking to? I can't remember. But like, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Like, I'm noticing something. I just noticed something. I feel like he's lost weight compared to previous years. Do you know them ones? I don't know. I just have a feeling. I just got that feeling. But yeah,
You might
anyway.
be on that, papaya diet. Who knows?
Yeah. See, look, now you're saying we need upgrades ASAP. I mean, why? Like, everyone's gonna have
everybody wants upgrades, right? This is just life. You're gonna want upgrades, and this is just how it is. At the end of the day, like
facts.
Let me find out what Stella said exactly, because
I think somebody mentioned in the comments that the notes have just come out.
I think they've just had a debrief. Why did we we streamed when they've just put out the debrief about the testing? Yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna find out about this debrief.
No, you
at the same time.
If you read, I'm gonna read out all the comments. I'm gonna get all the comments through in that time.
All right, I'm gonna be on mute for a second. Let me just
you do your thing. You do your thing. Drea, hey guys, good to see you. Big at yourself, Drea. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. Ready for another season, another bumper season. Big up to all the 28 of you, 29 of you, 30 of you that are watching this stream right now. Smash a damn like on this video, okay? McLaren fans everywhere. Amon says, I think we're in the mix and looks like we're going to have a good haul of upgrades quite soon. I'm feeling good. This is it, man. We're in the mix. Definitely in the mix. Podiums is what's going to be on the cards. They need to be on the cards every single race weekend. And if they are on the cards every race, guys, that's a good place to be. You know, we would have bitten your hand off to have a podium place in at the beginning of last year. We would have absolutely bitten your hand off. Z says, in Stella, we trust. Absolutely. Andrea is always calm. Listen, he's calm in the sense of he will tell you whether something is good or bad calmly, right? Yes. But he will tell you what it is. Do you know what I mean? He will tell you what it is. But yeah, shout out to Who Wants to Groove saying, in Stella, we trust. Nat says, not a McLaren fan, only here for Peter. I mean, hey, listen, do yourself a favor, mate. Make sure you become a McLaren fan this season. Our deg didn't seem too bad on the race tires. We don't count runs on the C3. That will only be used in quali. Body language from McLaren was relaxed. So am I. Drea, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about right here. Being relaxed, watching the mood, seeing how the team kind of is behaving. Yeah, that's what you want to do with the situation. So yeah, be relaxed, guys. In fact, I would have a little salt of excitement. Honestly, there's something more that we don't know yet about this team. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Smash the likes, people. We're up to 31. Big up yourselves, everybody. Dennis Horn says Piastri race sim was good. Lando's probably still ahead in race pace, so we can assume the pace is even better. Yeah, listen, all we're gonna expect, like Piastri this year, I want to see growth. You know them ones. He's had his year. He's had his rookie season. He's had his time. Now this is the year to see some growth. Am I expecting him to challenge Norris? Not necessarily, but I'm expecting him to make Norris not nervous, but just make Norris realize, oh, I've got a teammate, by the way.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
What's up?
Oscar did 91 laps today. Bloody hell.
Love that.
91 laps, guys.
Are you crazy?
That's a lot.
What?
In like 4 hours. That's like a half a day.
Listen,
91 laps in half a day.
He was out here. You know what I mean? Fortunate, obviously, because of the red flag or the session being suspended, that Norris got let out, kind of switched early doors, and Oscar got that time.
He did a good amount of laps. I'm quite happy with that. I did not know that. Just reading the statements on the website from all the guys, seems quite positive. Like obviously, there's always areas to improve, and I expect that to be the case. And this is what testing is all about, to find out what you need to improve. The testing here feeds what the next upgrades are. Not the upgrades that are coming out now that are going to be coming up soon. I'm talking about the upgrades after that, because you need to find out what the weaknesses of the car, and the only way you find out about that is by testing and doing race simulations. See where the weaknesses are, and then let's see where the areas of weakness are. Let's improve on that. And it seems that that's the case. Also, Andrea Stella said that this track might not be ideal layout for the car at this moment in time. So let's figure out why that's the case and move forward with it.
Okay. I'll take that. Shout out to Dennis saying the team also seems positive. All that matters is how the team looks, and we look confident, says the Oracle. TSJ, awesome. What's going on? Hope you're ready for another season. Hope you're ready to go. I don't like that Ferrari are looking good. I think Lando has also said in his interview that we are miles behind them at the moment. Listen,
I love Lando. Let's take a pinch of salt when Lando speaks.
Yeah,
he's extremely a pessimistic individual when it comes to that stuff. To the people that watch Drive to Survive this morning that's come out, episode 3, there's a scene after quali in Silverstone, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be top 2. We're not going to be on the podium." Even after quali, sticking on P2, he's like, "Nah, no chance."
Come on.
We're talking about a person that obviously I love him, but he sees the bad things in life in terms of opportunities, which is understandable since he's been at McLaren and there's been a lot of downs. If that makes sense.
He's gone through he's got some trauma, you know what I mean?
He's got real life trauma, man.
We'll give him grace, you know. We'll give him some grace. He's suffered, man. He's been in that GP2 engine. You know, he was there when Alonso was there. He was there when Sainz was there. Ricardo, you know, he's been there. He's had to see it. You know, is this what Formula One is hyped up to be? You know what I mean? You imagine this young kid comes into Formula One and he's having to witness this years after. Like people like Leclerc got, you know, they're in the Sauber and then they get pushed into the Ferrari and they're challenging for races, winning races, okay, albeit illegally, whatever, winning races. Max Verstappen's in this world out here winning races, even when he was like 17, 18, 19. Same thing. George Russell gets thrown into a Mercedes one time in Sakir and he looks like he's about to drop the bomb on everybody. Meanwhile, Norris, out of all that gang, even Alex Albon was in a Red Bull that was half decent. You know what I mean? And Norris has had to watch his age mates do what they're doing, and he's had to sit there and suffer. You know, to the point where people ruling him out. But here he is. So
Lando will get to the promised land. Oscar will get to the promised land. Don't worry. Just cool off.
Lando was like this all last season. He was negative all last season. He was pessimistic all last season. So don't even the fact that I can't wait to see that episode when he's talking like that, you know, and you know, slaps it in the P2. You're just thinking, come on, you know. So we'll see what we learn the language of Lando this year, guys, because he's an interesting character when it comes to talking. I don't pay too much on him, to be fair. Amon says Lando pessimist as always, said we can fight for P2 and P3 in the constructors.
Oh, and he's a pessimist and he said that. Listen, guys. And also another thing as well, I don't like to, and I don't know if you guys want to take this advice from me, I don't like to read Lando Norris interviews. I'd rather watch him speak.
Interesting.
I feel like when it's like a Red article, when it's like a Twitter thread or something like that, the tone is perceived in another way than when he's actually saying it, because obviously he does a lot of sarcasm. Sometimes I don't think he's like the best in terms of putting the words in the right place to convey the kind of message he wants. So I'd rather watch him in an interview than read an interview, because the interview could be twisted in a way where he doesn't really say what he wants to say, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
So that's how I consume Lando media. I'd rather him talk in a video or talk in an interview rather than, and even then it gets misconstrued anyway. But especially in written text, they just perceive it in a whole different way. Especially these media outlets that just kind of just take out of context quotes and put them out there. You know, like them Twitter accounts. So
yeah.
But the fact that he said we could fight for P2, P3, let's just wait, man. Whatever's a step forward, P3 I'd be happy with, P2 I'd be happy with.
You know my thoughts on where we were finishing the constructors, don't you?
Oh, actually, don't you know? Have you put your predictions video out?
No, I haven't done a prediction video yet. That will come out. Literally, I was waiting for testing to be done. See if my mind changes, and my mind hasn't really changed. Guys, you're gonna hear it here first. I put McLaren P1 in the Constructors' Championship. I'm gonna just tell you that right now, and it will all be. Listen, it will be for the reason it will be McLaren number 1 is simply 2 things. McLaren will be consistent. Oscar and Lando will be consistent this year. If you remember what they did last year, from when the upgrades came, only Max Verstappen, for example, outscored Lando Norris last season. In case anybody didn't notice this, we've got Oscar Piastri, the rookie, winning a sprint race in his first year in Formula One.
Okay.
If you were to take just from Austria till the end of last season, I think we're P2 in the constructors at that point.
Yeah. How did that make us win?
Because reason number 2, Sergio Perez is in that other seat at Red Bull. He will cost them the points. What I can see happening more consistently, more often than not, P1, P2, it will be Verstappen, Norris most races. Who is 3? Or even if Norris is number 3, P3, who is number 2 on the podium? The color coordination.
What you're counting on is Oscar beating Perez.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He beats Perez this year. Oh, guys, let's put it out there. He beats Perez this year.
Okay, I actually don't know the math on this because I'm not a mathematician. But let's say, for example, Max won every race, and then Oscar and Lando were just getting P2s, P3s every race. It's ahead of Perez. Does that win the constructors? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician.
Say that again. Sorry. Max wins every
race. Let's say Max wins all the races or whatever races he's able to. Maybe gets a couple of P2s there. But if Lando and Oscar continually get podiums, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
outscored them. Yeah. Because a P2
no,
and
but
3.
You're aware that Red Bull scored more points than Merc and Ferrari combined last year.
I hear that. But we weren't in the conversation last year. You know the ones. We weren't there last year. Bearing in mind, do you know what else was happening, by the way, last year? Don't forget, people like Alonso was eating points off Mercedes and Ferrari last year. Eating points. You know what I mean?
Like Perez in the mud.
Listen.
Yeah, you're aware of that, right? Perez can't be finishing P5. We need P7s weekly. He has to just be Verstappen by himself against 2 men.
In the constructors next season, in the drivers' championship, Perez finishes P4. I've got him P4.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying
you need him to do a stinker.
What if I have him thingy? Okay, so look, the Oracle's put on the maps.
Stinker season.
The Oracle's on the maps.
Season. Oh, so then what? Okay, he's done. Okay, it's over then. If Perez even does the bare minimum, he's cooking.
Okay, so P1, P4 is 37.
No, so that's why I said Perez has to have a stinker. When I mean stinker, he has to be horrific. He has to be nowhere. He has to have that season that Bottas had, and even then.
But here's the thing.
You know what? You know what Bottas season I'm talking about? When he finished like 5th. And Lewis won. He has to have that, but even worse.
But hang on a minute. Last year, mate, he made P2 by the skin of his teeth last year. Like, look how dusty that Mercedes was last year, and Hamilton was putting him to the test. You look at the Ferraris last year. You look at Alonso last year. I'm telling you, you know what's funny?
The Red Bull organization. Red Bull will kick this brother out.
Okay, and then but then, listen, I think that will happen. I think they're going to kick him out next year.
You think they're going to do that anyway?
Yeah, I think they're going to kick him out mid-season.
For Ricardo?
I don't know who. But from what looks like, the trailer of Drive to Survive, I saw that, and I think it seems like they hinted that Ricardo is like long-term for Checo. That's what it seemed to hint at. I'm guessing there'll be a Red Bull episode. I don't know if you've seen all the episodes.
No, I haven't seen all the episodes.
But it looks like...
I'll say this. If the constructors online, they're costing Red Bull money. That's why they'll get rid of Perez, because they're costing them money. No, listen, mate, by the skin of his teeth... Listen, Max won the Constructors' Championship last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Max's points do enough to win Red Bull the alone? Could he have won? Could Red Bull have won alone the Constructors, right? Yes.
Damn it. Thing is... What?
All right, you're gonna have to take this take back. I'm not gonna lie.
No, do you know what?
It's crazy.
No, shall I tell you what though? Yeah, the prediction to finish P1 might be crazy. I'm still gonna ride it. I'm gonna ride that still. But I will just say this: the P1, P4 thing that Alex has just put here. What are the chances that Perez finishes top 4 every race? In fact, what percentage of races? What percentage of races do you think Perez will finish top 4? I'm saying 50%.
I was going to say 60, 65.
So listen, 40%, 35%. He doesn't finish in the top 4 in
Yeah, but then you have
races.
to think about the other guys. The other guys will take points off us. Your
Of course.
Leclercs, your Hamiltons, your Russells. You know what I mean? Sainz, they're going to take points off us.
But since we got serious last year, Mahad, how many points were nicked off us from them, man?
A win was nicked off us.
A win was nicked off us, but I'm saying over the course of that period, from Austria to the end, I don't remember too many teams taking points off us. I remember us being gutted at some races, but I can count those races from Austria.
I don't think we ended the last 2 races strong though.
No, we didn't.
Vegas and AD. I think
No,
Ferrari
we
was better
didn't.
than us.
We didn't.
And I'm not surprised that Ferrari's strong right now.
You know,
so we can't discount them as well. But you're gonna have to hold it. It's on wax now. Everybody's heard it.
It's on wax
in the chat. You think that McLaren's winning constructors?
People think I'm mad. They like the way I think. Sorry, but that's a bad.
Alex, another crazy guy. You and Alex, crazy people.
The question is legit. Like, who's out going to score Max? See, if the fact that Max's points, like Perez could have got 0 points last year, and Red Bull win the constructors, that's annoying. That's annoying. The anti-Lando ultimate optimist.
Yeah, you're the opposite of Lando, yeah.
Stop. Yeah, my man Peter is reaching for the stars. I see McLaren getting 2 race wins, but winning constructors is crazy. Winning the constructors is crazy. Huh? We have to be wildly consistent. I'll be honest, like we've been like from Austria to Abu Dhabi last year, we were like 70% consistent. That for me, you know, listen, anyway.
That's one thing I will say. We were consistent, and let's just see what happens. I think.
Listen, guys.
Look at the stuff that's going on. Andrea Stella said quite a lot, and like I suggest you guys go on Junaid Samadin's Twitter, because Stella said a lot earlier today.
Okay.
In the interviews, and what did they ask him? They asked him something. Let me just get it up. They said last year's car had some weaknesses. Can you say whether these weaknesses are already raised? And Andrea Stella said, I think some of the weaknesses haven't been improved. And what else did they say? He said, is that a margin you think that you can close up a Red Bull this year? So they asked him, can we close up a Red Bull this year? And Stella said, let's say what we have seen in our own development is that we seem to be able to keep the gradient of development that we started last year.
Hear that talk, people.
Are you hearing what he's saying?
Hear it. Oh, listen, guys, don't play games, man.
Because the gradient of development last year was not small.
Was ridiculous. So man said, I've seen things that I could see that will keep the gradient the same. Oh, okay.
That every time we put something on the car, we'll move it forward.
Guys, do not be worried, man. Listen, I'll shoot
we're
for
not
the
in the
stars.
door.
Don't get me wrong. Let me land on the moon.
Guys, I feel like some people are reacting like we're Alpine.
I love you brought them up. Because what was Alpine doing last year in testing? If you remember, man was saying, "Yo, Oscar, what are you doing? Why have you gone to McLaren?"
Oh yeah, I remember those.
What did we do last year? What did we do in the?
Made a mistake.
Let me check this. Let me remind myself. What was the F1 standings last year, constructors wise? Yeah, between Alpine and McLaren. That's what I want to remember. Yeah,
you don't want to see that gap. That gap's nasty.
I want to remind you all. I want to remind you, y'all. Okay, because I'm gonna put it on wax. Let's have a look.
They ain't seen a gap like that since the tube. Mind the gap. That gap's crazy.
Huh? Have a look, guys. Read it. 302 McLaren finished on last year. 100 points, by the way, behind both Ferrari and Mercedes. Yeah, give or take 100, 204. The Alpine guys, I have to scroll. You know them ones. I have to scroll to find the Alpine.
Remember Laurent Rossi? You were saying, yeah, he's made a mistake.
Yeah,
this is what we'll be known for,
bro. Otmar Safnauer was trying to take man to court because he knew the writing was on the wall. He knew it. Guys, look at the points gap last year. This Alpine that came out rocket shipping last year. I remember they were talking.
I hope Otmar Rossi's lawyer was no win, no fee.
They were talking tough in the mud last year, guys. They were talking tough.
Look where Alpine are now. Alpine are predicted to be where Sauber and them are now.
And who's Alpine now? Who's Alpine now? You know,
they're a manufacturer that's irrelevant. I'm not interested in them. I'm not interested. But you guys, we said on the Twitter, right? Let's give these let's give everybody that gave us a Twitter comment.
Right? Yeah, we
did
ask you.
All of us together as a community. We're gonna go through everybody's thoughts of testing and how they feel at the moment. So we as a community can have a look at it and see what's happening.
Right? Why did I thought I could share that?
So we're gonna go through the comments together, everybody.
Bear with me. Let me, because I was actually gonna show it all on our tab here. So I'm gonna open up this tab and be like, boom, and then we could share the question, accept, and then I gotta log in. All right.
Yeah. Do you know what's so funny? I just see a comment. Do you know what's so funny? Alpine are talking like, oh yeah, look at McLaren. Look at what they did last year. You're not us, bro. The only time this has ever happened was McLaren in 2009. Nobody's doing it like us. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Only McLaren are doing up turnarounds. Not bloody Alpine.
Oh, this is bloody annoying. Oh, carry on talking. I need to try and fix this bloody login.
Oh, I could just read them out if you want.
Okay, I was going to share them. I was actually going to share them, but read them out. Read them out.
I ain't got my glasses on, guys, so if it looks like I can't read, it's not the case. All right, I'm just going to let you know, guys, please. So we asked McLaren fans on our Twitter. We finally reached 1,000 followers, guys. So shouts to everybody that follows on Twitter.
They got everybody. By the way, we're going
to try and get to 10,000. Make sure you follow us. If you watch the videos and you don't follow us on Twitter, make a Twitter. Make a burner account. Follow us.
Just make a burner.
Add to the numbers. McLaren fans, we asked you, what's your thoughts about testing? What are you worried about? What are you excited about? Okay. So let's go through these. We'll go through the bottom to the top. Mm-hmm. So BMW Z4 M Coupe said race pace a disaster. Do we agree with that, people?
No. Zach said
we got race pace a disaster.
Zach said we've got good race pace and good 1 lap pace.
How can you determine what the race pace was?
Great question.
And I know you said laps matter, but you could do 1,000 laps, but nobody can tell me what these laps are for.
No. Yeah, laps is not based on for me.
Why nobody can tell me what? How can you know what the laps are for if you don't know the run program? So, I don't really agree with you on that one. We've got Nathan Jordan. He said, I think we, as well as Mercedes, aren't showing our true pace, unlike the other teams. What do you think about that, guys? Are we hiding our pace? I think Mercedes are hiding their pace.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think they are.
I
unless Hamilton made the move he knew in the jump.
Listen, I can't ignore that. I can't ignore Hamilton's move. Do you know them ones? I can't actually.
That's a red flag.
It's a red flag. It's a red flag. I can't necessarily just be. We're hiding. We're definitely hiding something. There's more to come. I'm telling you, the car we turned up today with is not going to be the exact same car next week. Things are added next week.
Are you believing?
1,000%. 1,000%.
There's one sentence that Andrea Stella was like, no, not Andrea Stella, that Oscar Piastri said. He says, it was useful to get some racing work done today. We rarely get the practice to doing racing and tests. So it's nice to have an opportunity. We'll see what everybody else has got next week. And that will give us much more of an indication as to where we're at. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Oscar? We'll see where everybody's at. Have you not shown your hand then? Okay. Maybe I'm just thinking too deep. We'll go to the next comment. But thank you. I'm going to do this weekly, guys. I know we go through the comments and you guys, and we're going to go through all of them. Sometimes we have to just give the Twitter voices a shout. So we've got Incarnation, Garang UC00. Finally, no talks of overheating brakes. Thank God for that. Right, that's all I care about. If I heard brakes and overheating, I would have lost the plot.
Whose brakes overheated this weekend? Someone's did.
Steak. That steak got burnt, overcooked. And who's that steak?
That steak is well done. Oh, can I jingle them? Huh? Mr. James Key. I do think Red Bull had it as well. I don't know why I thought Red Bull had some.
Oh yeah. Perez's brakes was on fire on a mad thing, like literally fire.
Yeah, there you go. Dre
That was
saying
crazy,
it
and all he did was an installation lap. I was like, "How the hell are your brakes on fire?"
yeah, it was yeah. Oh god, Amos says, "Nah, no way." James Keys did.
No, we're kidding. James Key only came in a bit late. There's no way
he just come in now.
We're just taking the piss.
Sido, what's going on, brother?
Okay, next comment. Juan Camilo. Mixed feelings. I think at one lap we can be very fast like Ferrari. I'm worried about the race pace below expectations. Hope they can unlock some performance. At one lap competitive, we're competitive in pace. We could be the fourth fastest car. I don't believe this fourth fastest car at all.
No, definitely not fourth. I'm sorry, we're second. Well, no, Ferrari have got a fast car, yeah? They do. Don't they? They definitely do.
Definitely. No, it's all relative, man. It's all relative, man. If Mercedes and McLaren don't show their hand, or Aston Martin don't show their hand, and Ferrari have, then how are they fast?
You don't know, innit? You just don't know.
And they were already faster in some places than Red Bull on quali pace. No, they've already proved it. They had the poles last year.
Very true. Very true.
For Ferrari is, have they limited their development path by not going the same way as everybody else in terms of suspension and doing their own thing?
That's a good question.
Because they decided to go their own way completely. Is it going to work? Are they going to hit a ceiling and then everybody else surpasses them?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So that's the unknown for Ferrari. I think Ferrari will do a good job, but let's see where we're at. Next one, Alex. Shout out to Alex the Oracle hitting us up on Twitter.
Hello.
Testing has been turbulent, but overall positive. If all the data is to be believed, which is dubious at best, we'll be third in quali pace and second in race pace. Let's just see what happens.
Exactly. Let's see what happens.
Let's see.
I wouldn't get too. You know what I mean?
We've got Tashlik here. Tash087, bloody loads of numbers. But Tashlik, you know you are on Twitter. We are the fourth fastest. That's the only one. That's his only comment. We are the fourth fastest.
Fourth fastest.
I don't know if you're in the negative camp, Tashlik. You might be in the negative camp. Who knows? We've got Andrea here. Andrea Hannah. Shout out to Drea.
Yo. Shout out to Drea.
We clearly shouldn't race on the C3, but no one will anyway, because the C3 is the softs. Why am I looking at race pace data on softs? Let's be serious here, man. I know I know people use softs in the race in Bahrain, but it's only for like 10 laps.
Well, even at night, yeah? You reckon it will only it won't do long?
From my memory, they do soft, hard, soft. On my budget.
Yeah.
In Bahrain.
Yeah.
But it's not that deep. You need to look at long runs on hard, man. That's the majority of the race. The race, okay, Andrea, let me finish your comment. Race pace on the harders was strong and consistent in Oscar's racing. Red Bull far ahead. Ferrari look a little stronger, but they're always on this track. But they always are on this track. Fight is on for P2, P3, I guess. This is true.
True.
This is true. I agree with this.
Yeah, true.
Mr. Danzy83, Dan. Shouts to Dan.
Shout out Dan.
We are starting in a stronger position than last year. However, I think the rest of the grid is much stronger this season from what we've seen in testing. Let's see if we have any upgrades for the first race. These could make the difference from being on the first team behind Red Bull. So and you're right. This is the competition we're at the moment.
Yeah. This is the competition.
It's the first team behind Red Bull and taking the opportunity of wins when Red Bull are not there. Because if in reality we're in 2004, guys, I lived there. I lived in 2004. I switched on my TV. I saw a red German on the top shelf every day. The guy did not leave the podium.
He never left the podium.
He lived there. So
my God.
This is what we're living through.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're making the right steps and preparing ourselves for 2025 and 2026. Let's just be competitive this year. I want to see trophies.
Oh God,
let's
yeah,
sneak a win here and there.
yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, shout out to Dan. Okay, we got Kenny at Bozo Ken. Testing was solid, apart from a couple of issues. Car looks improved, and we look like we're in a tight competitive group, but our car looks the least developed aero-wise from last year. So expecting a major upgrade coming. Stella is confident in development potential. We spoke about this. Look, Stella said it. Aero-wise, if you look at what all these tech guys, the race and all these people like that, they're not really excited about the kind of aero developments that McLaren done, because it's kind of same as last year. But we did crazy aero development last year.
That's what I'm saying.
We already said prior to the winter break that we're just going to work on things mechanically, and then we've got aero updates coming. So let's just see what happens, guys.
Mahad, question: Why do people get McLaren wrong? It seems to be a regular occurrence, though.
What, analyzing McLaren?
Yeah,
in the mainstream, like
more so, yeah. Well, even I guess either we're like irrelevant or we're not. They analyze us wrong, but it seems like a regular occurrence to me. I'm seeing it more often than not.
About the reputation.
It's the reputation, yeah.
Like when I'm in London, I'll just coming home on the tube. I see a poster of the F1. I only see Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari. McLaren is not on that poster.
They're not.
For a reason.
No,
because we have to build the reputation back up.
We have
10 years ago, we'd definitely be on the poster. Not now. It's been a bad 10 years, man.
It's been horrific. It's been traumatic. It's been freaking traumatic. That's what it's been.
Have I got any more?
Any more there?
Anybody else? We've got Adrian. We've got Adrian and Adam. So let me just do Adrian and Adam. These are the last two. Why is everyone so pessimistic? This is Adrian Omaverick. So I said your butcher's name wrong, mate. Sorry. Why is everyone so pessimistic? Yeah, sure, it's not optimal with the issues, but nothing is wrong with the pace. From what I know, McLaren always have higher fuel loads on Friday during race weekends and lower power PU mode. This is probably the case during testing as well. I mean, we're known for riding heavy.
Yeah.
It's like every year people forget. This is known. We do it on Fridays.
Yeah.
So when we stink on Friday in practice, it's because we're not paying attention. We're not really doing any of that. We're not doing any performance runs.
No.
The car may come alive, but yeah, I kind of want to put this out to everybody that's watching right now. Why do you think the McLaren fan base is so negative? Was last year not enough to spur people on? In terms of let's change the mindset.
I think in the Formula One world, there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They're fed up of this dictatorship of Max Verstappen winning races. You know, like a nation where it's had a leader for 30 years, and it's like we just need this guy to. It's more. I think you got to understand the balance, like feeling the pulse of Formula One fandom at the minute. We're sick to death of Red Bull unless you're a Red Bull fan, right? The way we were sick to Mercedes unless you was a Mercedes and Hamilton fan. You know, so there's that element, there's that problem. 2020, remember, sold us a dream. Now, yourself, Mahad, was probably one of those that did not fall for that dream, right?
21, that's fate postal.
22, what's it called? 2020 and 2021. I sat there like, yo, McLaren need to be arriving. I see us beating Ferrari one year, and now Ferrari's winning races 2 years later. And you know that can still weigh heavy. You know, I remember what it was like in the pandemic when we had no sport and Formula One gave it to us in June, right? And we were watching Lando Norris third in the Styrian Grand Prix, things like that. So when you go from there to what happened, like we cocked up so bad. 2022, 23, it was unreal to go from the 2022 McLaren, because even like 2018, 2019, 2020 McLaren, there was a certain level of trajectory, right? To a degree anyway. But then it felt like a lead balloon. Meanwhile, our age mates, Ferrari are winning races, mate. Like Sainz was with us and he's won 2 races since he's left us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's going on.
I understand from the optics. I definitely understand from the optics, because you're looking at people like, especially like Sainz, and you're seeing Ferrari. Ferrari was in the mud in 2020.
Mud.
They were worse.
Mad.
They were worse than anything that we've had in the last 5 years,
You see what I'm
apart from
saying?
beginning of last season. But yeah, I definitely understand your point. Listen, every McLaren fan out there, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're entitled to believe what you believe, and nobody should attack you for it. If you believe that we should be doing better, or this is the worst time imaginable, or we're stagnant, we need to do better. So everybody's allowed to have a different opinion and how they feel about this team and where they're going, right?
Mm.
And for me, like, my mindset is that progression is not linear. You learn, you can go up, you can go down, but as long as you're going up generally in a good pace. And I didn't believe in any of those false dawns in 2020 or 2021. I just didn't think it was real. Last year was real, guys. That's the realest thing we've had since 2012. And 2012 was an abject disaster in terms of revival. 2012 is a McLaren fumble championship.
By the way, sorry, 2012, yeah. I don't know if you saw Sky Sports put up a retro. You know, they got Sky Sports Retro. So they put up Ted Kravitz's first ever TED Talk, first ever TED Notebook, right?
TED Notebook. Was it 2012?
It was 2012, the Australian Grand Prix. Jenson Button wins it for McLaren, and Hamilton is spitting in third place. Like, he's third, and he's hacked off with McLaren. This is like race 1, blood. Or race 2, I think it was. And he's already hacked off with them. Yeah. And I was sitting there like, yo, he was annoyed from the start of the season. No wonder why he left towards the end of the season. Like, it just made me laugh.
That championship makes me sick. That championship makes me sick. Do you not understand McLaren was the fastest car? That makes me sick. That championship.
That year is
that and 2010. 2010 makes me sick as well.
Yes, absolutely.
2007 is the most embarrassing of all time.
2000 is just straight up embarrassing.
It's the most embarrassing performance. It's nasty. We won races, all of that kind of stuff, Red Lewis and Alonso, but that fumble just makes me sick, man. One day we're gonna do a retro McLaren stream.
We need to, innit? Yeah,
we're gonna go back on all seasons. We're gonna watch the race review just to freshen our minds, and we're gonna go through the McLaren season because it's nasty. Tell us if you want us to do that, guys. If you want us to go through old seasons, because we'll go through all seasons for you guys. I'm gonna go through the last couple comments. Shouts to Z. We are not starting the season from deep in the trenches, and for that I am grateful. Stella has repeatedly said that he's confident in the development. I don't think we need to panic. That's very, very true. Z, shouts to you.
Shout out to you.
And we got one more, which was, where is it? I saw it. We got one from Ace at Ace 12 Adam. Shout out to you, Adam. Worried about the reliability side and not much mileage. Excited about our pace as it looks good. So shout out to everybody on Twitter for shouting us out.
Yeah, definitely a new feature that we'll do.
Let us know your thoughts
more often. I said I'll be so there for Vodafone McLaren Fan TV. What a time!
I'll wear a leather jacket like Ron Dennis for the team.
Like Ron Dennis. 2007 hurts my head. Hurts my heart. Sorry. Ron Dennis will pay for his crimes. God,
he couldn't do the political game, man.
Look, to the question you asked, to the question you asked earlier about McLaren fans feeling a certain way. You know, the trajectory looked amazing second half of the season, and right now it looks like we're stagnant, but it's only testing. And the thing is, when you guys, it's like Man City or whoever, right? When you're winning, and then the winning becomes normal. We ain't even won yet. Yeah, we haven't even peaked yet, right? But we went on such a high that when it doesn't look exciting anymore, it's like, oh, we're flopping. It's like, no. Just take time. As we said, just let the team do what they're doing. Listen to what the team are saying. Listen to the body language. Look at how they're approaching. They're approaching this so differently to last year. So differently to last year. Drea says, agreeing with you as well. Big up to you for the tweet as well. Progression is not linear. McLaren have a clear path. Can they do it? I believe it. But here is no guarantee whatsoever. There's no guarantee whatsoever. Other teams try.
Exactly. We always forget about what other teams do. You think they stood still? You think Ferrari and all these teams stood still? No, of course not.
Of course not. No, of course not.
That's not how it works.
Of course not. Shout out to Rubinho. Says 1,000 follower gang. Make sure you guys follow us. Yeah, make sure you You lot follow us, and he goes, "Look, the Tangerines. First of all, show some respect, Rubinho. Come on, we're not the Tangerines.
Oh yeah, he was a Ferrari fan, Rubinho. Come on,
he's the Ferrari man. He's buzzing
Nasty
about Hamilton
stuff,
next year.
man.
Buzzing. The Tangerines, we're back to disappointment once again for 2024. As for me, it's just a countdown to 2025. No disappointment for us here in 2024, man. I can assure you. Just know that Hamilton said, you know what, man's gonna move in it. Just watch that. Careful with that.
Sad, man.
And by the way, Toto Wolff.
I feel sad about that, by the way.
Man. Do you know what? He's burnt me too much. I can't get burnt anymore with him.
No, it's not even about that. I just feel like he's going outside.
He's going outside.
Because he's going outside. Do you know why he's going outside? Because
he's going outside.
It could turn into like a disaster. This is Ferrari.
It's Ferrari.
And you don't want to end your career like this. This is not good. What did you say about Toto?
His body language. The way he's talking. The first test notebook, Ted spoke to Toto and was like, so much has happened over the winter. How's the car? Are you still angry about the FIA regarding Susie Wolff? Are you this, that, and the other? And the only thing he could really focus on was that I'm still angry. we should. And I was like, this guy is not thinking about this car at all. It comes across that way. They've obviously had a bit of conversation regarding their front wing and stuff like that. And Mercedes on those slouches, they will come with something, I'm sure. But I think he's looked at it and it's like, maybe Ferrari's our challenge this year, and the fact that Red Bull and Adrian Newey says, listen, you know what, Mercedes, you were onto something there, with that no side pod thing. Here's how you do it. And it's not even like it's a no side pod thing. They're just taking the mig, man. They're just like they completely changed almost the philosophy of the car and said, you know what, they Mercedes could have made this work, And whether Horner telling Toto to change his effing car, whether he was just trying to get man to divert from this full stop, and then they can jump on it. You never know. Man.
You know what? I'm not paying attention too much to Mercedes, and it's not nothing to do with their car. I just feel like they got stuff going on there. One thing I didn't speak about is that everybody's got stuff going on. McLaren ain't got stuff going on. Our rival stuff is going on.
Stuff is going on.
That's nothing to do with on track. They've got stuff going on behind the scenes, and that's a major distraction.
Yeah.
Ferrari have got a major distraction. You've got a driver there that's already knows that he's fired, but he has to do a whole season for you. And they're already getting flustered and panicking because Lewis Hamilton is coming through. You've got the awkwardness of Mercedes. It's going to be like The Office. Every scene is going to be like The Office. They're going to say, Lewis, can you leave the room when we talk about next year's car? It's awkwardness there. Awkwardness going on. And it looks awkward. I even saw a clip on Drive to Survive. It's looking awkward over there. Relationships.
Okay.
Especially between the drivers, Toto, and the whole the people that are developing the car. It's looking like everything's not all plugged together, right? And then you got Red Bull. We already know what's going on with Horner. Some people may say it's not going to have any effect. If Horner goes, that's a detrimental effect on the team.
Huge.
The team principal, who's probably the best team principal in Formula One, goes. I don't care if you got rocket ship. Stuff ain't going to go down exactly the same.
It ain't going to go right the same way, no.
So, we're seeing all this going on in the background. There's no drama at McLaren. It's happy families.
No dramas.
For once in our life, it's happy. There's no drama.
No dramas. You see that? No distractions. Reincarnation. Who wants to groove? Horner will be gone soon. This could be the
I'm hearing stuff. But I'm not. I don't want to say it on here. But I'm hearing.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's going to come to a conclusion, and something's going to happen.
Yeah. And Aston Martin just like to create Alpine. Sorry, just like to create drama. There'll no doubt be some drama over there just because they can. Ferrari and Mercedes.
Alpine are just a mess already. We already know about them. We're not talking about it. Aston Martin, if Fernando just says I'm off to Mercedes, that puts the whole team in the mud. If he just decides the Saudi Grand Prix, I'm announcing I'm going to sign a contract for 1 year. That team's in the mud regardless. You've got Stroll leading development. You're finished. You got Lance Stroll being your lead development driver.
Science won't even go there. Science will just be like, nah, there's got to be something else. I can't come to Aston Martin.
So let's not even talk about Aston Martin. They've got problems. If Fernando's already doing CVs and interviews, that interview that he did was crazy. He said there's three champions on the grid, and only one is available for 2024. Why are you not advertising yourself like that?
Hey,
he
Fernando,
he rang, and do you know what I kept on seeing as well over the off season? I kept on seeing over the off season. Yeah, I kept on seeing Fernando with Russell.
Yeah,
the dots are adding up. Why are them two on a private jet playing table tennis together?
Ain't them man? They were raving
trying
together.
To get that seat. Yeah, they all every New Year's they rave together. This guy's trying to get a Mercedes seat. So Aston Martin's got problems there. You know what I'm saying? Wait, I've just seen a comment. Yeah. This is an egregious comment.
Ross, bro.
I don't want to see that man at MCC.
No. Listen, he's done his thing in it. Yeah, he won his championships, whatever. Nah.
I don't want to see that guy on the Formula 1 grid or at any team.
Why?
If he's on the team, that team's doing the ultimate turnaround. I'll tell you right now.
like that, a 180.
He's simply that guy. I don't want anywhere near Formula 1.
Ross Brawn is savage. I can't deal, man. I can't deal. And Fernando,
a team for £1 on one championship next season.
No, that's just wrong. This guy, it's just wrong. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. I can see Lawrence Stroll's face seeing him say this. Yeah, I respect the hustle from Fernando. Yeah, listen, Formula 1 is hilarious, guys, and we're going to be here.
No loyalty. We know this.
We're going to be here to talk all things Formula 1. Bahrain Grand Prix preview is on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time. We will be back on a live stream talking all things Bahrain. Oh my God, Mahad, it's been great, man. We're here. We're ready to kick off. We're ready to get them lights out. I'm ready, man.
I'm ready. It's gonna be a weird Saturday watching Formula 1.
Yeah, I need to remember that actually. What time is that race? Is it in the evening?
I feel like it's gonna be like 2ish, maybe. I don't even know. Who knows the time?
Let me see. I've got the calendar.
No idea.
I got the calendar on my phone. It's 3 o'clock UK time.
3 o'clock UK time.
Yeah, 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
And qualifying's at 4. They put qualifying on the work hours. I hate these guys, man.
Yeah, what's going on there? I'm working from home, boy. You know them ones. I need to make sure.
Anywhere on Friday.
Oh, Friday the 1st of March.
Oh, we've got practice sessions on Thursday. This is nasty.
Yeah. 1 and 2 is on Thursday.
Yuck.
1 and 2 is on Thursday.
But guys, we'll be here next week. We're going to preview. We're not only going to preview Bahrain, we're just going to preview the season on the whole. And we're just going to talk about not only McLaren and any developments over the weekend, but we're going to talk about what we think, what's our expectations for the season upcoming. And then obviously we're going to be back to race reviews on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on when Arsenal plays.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys check. Make sure you follow at McLaren Fan TV on Twitter or X. We're going to be putting out posts for you lot to leave your questions, your comments. We want your predictions on Tuesday's show. All right. So until then, big up to Drea, big up to Dennis, big up Who Wants to Groove, big up Z.
And McLaren family. Shout out to everybody that's new that's been watching us. I saw a couple of new names there. I want to see you here next week.
Next week, make sure you see us Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time. It's going to be a good year. Let's have a good one. Until next time, peace.
Peace.